What is going on, guys? It's Dramon back at it again with another episode of NBA Kicks, the show where we count down the top 10 best sneakers in the NBA every single week of the season. I'm back. I had to take a little bit of a break, but you know what? I think that was a blessing in disguise because this might just be the best episode of the year so far. I know I said that in the last episode, but what can I say? The boys keep upping the ante. We got socks to talk about, a new logo to talk about, a couple signature sneaker debuts. This is a fire list. Grab a snack, kick back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of NBA Kicks. Starting off the list at number 10 is Tim Hardaway Jr. with the Air Jordan 28. Tim Hardaway Jr. hits us with a heavy dose of nostalgia with one of the most unique silhouettes of all time. That's one of my personal favorites. You kind of had to be there for the Air Jordan 28. It was such an ambitious design that when they first dropped, it was very polarizing. Some people loved them and other people loathed them. I was a part of the former. I love the Air Jordan 28. I actually copped them in multiple colorways because I love the way they look. But on top of that, they performed extremely well and were one of the best performing Air Jordan silhouettes of all time. I know they weren't perfect. That zoom unit in a forefoot would pop on you if you were unlucky, but I loved playing in them regardless. And it was great to see Tim Hardaway Jr. go deep into his closet and bring this silhouette back on the court in this incredible elephant print colorway. Next up at number 9 is Jordan Poole with the Nike Zoom GT Cut 3. Okay, first things first, yes, those are Ralph Lauren socks that Jordan Poole is rocking, which I've never even thought to hoop in, but if you have, you gotta let me know. Is that the move or is this just a flex? As for the shoes, on the surface, they may seem pretty simple, and yes, they are, but they're clean nonetheless with a white, black, blue, and bronze color scheme, which is inspired by the old retro Wizards uniform, as you can tell with the retro font on the heel cup. Now, I've always thought that the Wizards have had the worst branding in all of team sports, but even I can't help but to feel nostalgic towards this aesthetic, as it reminds me of that one time Mariah Carey rocked a Michael Jordan dress uniform during All-Star Weekend in 2003. Yeah, that was a trend that didn't catch on, but it made for a good memory. Next up at number 8 is Kade Cunningham with his pair of Nike GT Cut 3s. All right, so here we have a solid colorway, but the colorway is not why we're talking about these. Now yes, the red and black color scheme with dots sprinkled throughout the entire upper is fun. I do like it, but the reason why I want to talk about this specific colorway is because this gives us our first look at Kade Cunningham's signature logo. Personally, I think this is a very solid logo. It obviously looks like a star, which is great for branding, but if you really look closely, it's composed of 2 C's, which are obviously his initials. Now, it's unclear whether or not Nike has plans for a Kade Cunningham signature line in the future. I would guess no, at least in the near future. But still, it's cool that they're giving him his own signature logo that they could stamp on his player exclusive colorways because it makes the shoe feel more exclusive to him. So it's kind of like meeting him halfway. But let me know what you guys think. Should Nike give Kade Cunningham a signature line or should they not? Coming in at number 7 is James Harden with the adidas Harden Volume 9. This is how good this week's list is. James Harden's new signature silhouette in a new colorway is only good enough for the number 7 spot. Last episode, James Harden took the number 1 spot because he debuted one of the best signature silhouettes of this season. And now he's back with a new colorway that people are calling Ice Metallic due to its metallic baby blue finish on the upper. Now, James also debuted a matte white colorway as well, which I think is very clean, but I just couldn't resist giving the spot here to the Ice Metallics as they're just a little bit more unique, and of course, the pop of color is always a welcome addition. Man, I can't wait to see what Adidas has in store for All-Star Weekend because I'm suspecting some new Harden 9 colorways, but also I think they're gonna unveil Anthony Edwards' second signature silhouette. I mean, shoot, they might win All-Star Weekend this year, guys. Next up at number 6 is Payton Watson with the Nike Adapt BB. Here's another nostalgic pick for one of the most unique silhouettes that Nike has ever put out. We all know the Adapt BB is heavily inspired by the shoes that Marty McFly wore in Back to the Future 2, as they attempt to use the same self-lacing technology that was showcased in the movie. Now, while they didn't exactly mimic the technology that was shown in the movie, they still did a great job, and I personally really enjoyed playing in the Adapt BBs, which is why it made me extremely happy to see Payton Watson pull out this Marty McFly inspired colorway of the silhouette. This is just one of those colorways that's gonna look good no matter what shoe you put it on. So that, on top of being on one of the most unique silhouettes of all time, it's really a win-win. But this list is so good that not even these could crack the top 5. Kicking off the top 5, we have Haywood Highsmith with the Nike Zoom Kobe 5. The Miami Heat forward rocks one of the best new Kobe colorways we've ever seen. These are the Year of the Mamba Kobe 5s, and they perfectly capture the Mamba mentality with a purple and gold color scheme that is accompanied by a gold snake stitched onto the upper. I understand that these might be a lot to take in for some, but this was totally Kobe's style. He really had a luxurious, gaudy style to him both on and off the court. So when I say that these perfectly capture the Mamba mentality, I mean that in every way. So even if you're not a fan of how these look, you gotta respect it, as they totally lean into both Kobe's style as well as his mantra. Nike also hooked China up with an exclusive alternate red and gold pair of these, which as a 49er fan myself, I absolutely love. Now, originally, I had my notifications turned on for the release of these Year of the Mambas, but at the very last minute, I turned them off because I just decided to wait for this next shoe. Next up at number 4 is Justin Champagnie with the Nike Kobe 6. I have seen some people call this colorway mid, and honestly, I just don't get it. How could you not like this colorway? First of all, it's white and black, which is always clean. Now, I understand that you could consider it to be boring or basic, but it's clean nonetheless. And I think what Nike did with the upper on this colorway is both extremely creative and also perfect for the theme. This is the All-Star 2.0 colorway, and as you can see, Nike changed the scale pattern on the upper to a new star pattern, which gives the silhouette a whole new life. I think this is really creative because Nike could have easily just left the Kobe 6 as is, because it is one of the most iconic and most coveted pair of Kobes ever. So they could have just sat on it, but they didn't. They gave us something new, and I think it's going to give us some interesting new colorways. And if we could get more colorways of the Kobe 6, that's fine with me. So I'm extremely excited to keep my eye out on these for All-Star Weekend because I think these are a must cop. Next up at number 3 is Tyler Hero with the Nike Sabrina 2. Tyler Hero understood the assignment here. He took one of the most popular sneakers in the world right now and paired them with one of the most iconic colorways of all time. If you've been a sneakerhead for a while, you remember the days of custom Yeezy colorways on practically every silhouette. I did it, you did it, your mom did it, everyone did it. And Tyler Hero does it yet again with his pair of Sabrina 2s, and I have to say the results are just as good as ever. This colorway just looks good no matter what silhouette you put them on, and the Sabrina 2s are no different. So here is yet another W for the silhouette, which is making a very strong case to potentially be sneaker of the year. Coming in as our runner-up is Zion Williamson with the Jordan Zion 4. Zion is back, and he returns by debuting his 4th signature model. The Zion 4 is built to accentuate the strength and speed at the center of Zion Williamson's game, and it uses a Cushlon 3.0 drop-in midsole, as well as a full-length parabolic air zoom strubble, which is a mouthful, but it should provide a springy, double-stacked layer of cushioning, helping players feel more like Zion on the court. Aesthetically, the Zion 4 doesn't really stray too far from its predecessor with a lower to mid-cut design that doesn't really have one standout visual feature, but that's okay because performance is what is at the center of this silhouette. Jordan Brand is launching the Zion 4 in this Damascus steel colorway, which uses a metallic silver upper and is paired with shades of green and purple, which does add some NOLA DNA in them. But again, visually, the Zion 4 isn't too exciting. It's the performance that has me intrigued. Drop-in midsoles are my favorite piece of technology, and that's exactly what the Zion 4 has to offer. So I'm suspecting that the Zion 4 is going to be a beast on the court and should provide some solid value. And of course, we always have to congratulate Zion on debuting a brand new signature sneaker, but he didn't have this week's best debut. Finally, at number 1 is Scoot Henderson with the Puma Scoot Zeros 2. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Puma Scoot Zeros, as in plural, Zeros 2. Does that make sense? No, it does not. All jokes aside, Scoot debuts his second signature silhouette with Puma, and in my opinion, they are an improvement visually over its predecessor. The Scoot Zeros 2 utilize a similar playful design that is no doubt designed for a younger audience in mind, and also use an array of colors that are hard to miss on the court. Right now, the 2K colorway is available on Puma's site, but the colorway that Scoot has been rocking on the court is far superior in my opinion, with brighter colors that accentuate the silhouette's unique visual features. Once again, I have to applaud Puma here for consistency, as they are clearly designing shoes for a younger generation in mind. So even though that these may feel a little bit too busy for the older generation, I know that this silhouette clearly resonates with younger fans, and I think that they're going to provide a solid value at that $110 price point. Visually, there's no denying that the Scoot Zeros 2s are a standout silhouette, as they officially caught my eye as the best sneaker worn in the NBA during the first 2 weeks of the new year. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I think this is probably the strongest 10 sneakers of the year so far. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. It helps me out a ton, guys. I really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for more sneaker related content just like this. My name's Jaren. It's been great having you. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.